What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the show. We are in the Sierras this week. The house we were living in sold, and so we are again sort of what I like to call voluntarily homeless. We are just sort of roaming around, taking pictures and doing fun stuff. We'll be here in the Sierras for quite a few days. We'll probably try and head to Mono Lake. We're in Mammoth Lakes right now, and just doing a little hiking. We've been walking for about 5 miles, and we've got another 4.5 to go, and we just lost the sun, so we're kind of in a hurry. But anyway, I wanted to welcome you to this episode. Hopefully this was going to be a fun one because we're outside in the mountains and all of that. If we don't freeze to death, it's going to be fun. Anyway, so here we go. We just got back to the car after our 9-mile-ish hike, something like that, and realized that we didn't see any bears, which I guess is good, right? There are signs everywhere up here. Don't leave food in your car. Don't keep food in your pockets. You know, there are bears everywhere. They're very active right now. Anyway, there's actually a sign going into our hotel, into the underground parking, and it's a big sign right overhead, and it says, "Don't leave food in your car," like with a big sign of a bear. Like bears go into the parking garage. Get into cars, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so Drew and Katya 1, bears 0, I guess. How about we just keep a tally of that? I hope we see some bears. You know? Why not? So we had a little bit of a fiasco last night. We went to Mono Lake, out to South Tufa, where we were planning to shoot, and we got there super early, like 2 hours early, and kind of scoped the spot and found our place and just kind of camped out, set it up, and just thought we'd wait. And people just keep coming through, and so at one point there's probably a group of, what did you think, 10 Chinese tourists all set up, and then this photo tour shows up and they all camp out where we are, and it just gets more and more people. And by the time it was time to actually do the shoot and everything, there were so many people around. I was so self-conscious I didn't even get out the camera, and so I'll show you those pictures. They're after this, but anyway, we had a great night out there and got some beautiful light, just beautiful blues and pinks and purples. The night before, we had seen the sky just lighting up from Mammoth, and just thought, oh, we should have been there. This is the night. And we got a full replay last night, and got some really good pictures. So I'll show you a couple of those now. Right now, though, we are up at Cathedral Lakes. This is Cathedral Peak behind me, you can see, and there's this nice little reflection. We're obviously here at the wrong time of day. This is probably a sunset shot, but it's about a 4-mile walk out, and we don't really want to do that in bear country in the dark. So we're not going to shoot here tonight, but it was a really beautiful hike. So anyway, here are the pictures from last night. Enjoy those, and I guess we'll pick this up tomorrow morning and see what happens then. I don't know. This is just turning into a disaster. This whole this whole episode. But whatever. Anyway, we'll. Whatever comes next comes next. Here are the pictures. So this seems to be the trip of just can't get any filming done. Seems like every time we get to a spot, there's either 50 people standing around and it's just really uncomfortable, or we're just in such a rush to get set up. Last night we were headed back from our hike. Just had a nice hike, really nothing photographically, but got back to the car and started driving back towards Yosemite Valley, and came around this corner, and it just opened up, and there was this beautiful scene of Half Dome. The sun was going down, the light was just perfect. It was this amazing orange. There's some smoke in the air right now, and so you just got this gorgeous glow behind it, but there was still enough light on the dome to get really great detail. And I kind of got out of the car sort of half thinking it wasn't even going to be worth it, that the light, whoa, geez, that the light would be gone before I even got set up. But the closer I got sort of the edge where my frame would have been, the better it got. So we hurried and threw down the tripod and put the camera on, and maybe took 8 or 10 shots, really of one single frame, just kind of shooting at different f-stops, trying to make sure that my depth of field was right. Anyway, I'll show you that picture right now because I think it's really pretty, and I feel bad that I didn't get to share it with you, but it all happened in the matter of about 4 minutes, and then the light was gone, and the whole thing was over. So anyway, right now, so here's that picture. Let's just take a look. Moment of silence. So anyway, tonight we're heading down to a spot called Taft Point. It's notoriously busy too. We've been down here before, but it was just sort of in the area where we'd been hiking earlier, and sort of low-hanging fruit, but it's a beautiful view of all of Yosemite Valley. You've got El Capitan that picks up the beautiful evening light, and there's still a little smoke in the air, so we'll see if we can get a little time to ourselves out here. We'll do a shoot with you here, and yeah, fingers crossed. Last night was another bust. We showed up at Taft Point. There were people everywhere, like everywhere. And a whole group of people who just decided to set up on the point and just hang out. So you couldn't even really get a photograph without half a dozen people standing in it. Which, I mean, it's a national park, I get it. But, you know, anyway, it's early morning, it's freezing cold out here. It's like 18 or 19 degrees. We slept in the car again last night. Had a really good night though last night. No bears, no park rangers, none of that. So anyway, the sun isn't up yet, and we're walking towards the river here in Yosemite Valley to try and get a reflection there. A couple of really good pools here. We've shot here before. Last time I ended up stripping down to my underwear and wading out into freezing cold water. Same time of year, mid-October of last year. So let's go up here around the bend. And got a really great shot, but just froze. I mean, standing in waist deep water, taking pictures at, 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, we'll pick this back up if we find a spot here. Maybe another day of busts, and this episode may just be entitled, What a Bust. I completely misjudged where we are. We're in the wrong place. So now we're just trucking up the other side of the river where we're kind of stuck now, trying to find a spot where the river bends just a little bit, and maybe we can get a sort of peekaboo view of Half Dome. So, we're running out of time. That's the sort of truth of the matter right now. The sun is starting to come up, and I'm just sort of taking a gamble. There's a little sandbar out here in the river. I'm gonna see if I can get out on it and maybe get an angle worth a picture. All right, I think we found a spot. We just got to get Katya across the water here. So.
Okay, take that.
Got it.
And then I'll try to figure it out.
All right, we're gonna set up here. So at the shoot last night, I couldn't find the back cap to one of my lenses. I just went to put my my viewfinder on. It's literally stuffed in the back here. Will you take this? Thanks. So it's getting a little bright in our scene. We're already honestly a little too late, but the sun is lighting up the branches and the trees and stuff on the other side of this little bridge. But Half Dome's getting a lot of light, so I'm gonna have to shoot a bracket, probably 5 shots at one stop apart. So I'm actually shooting 9-stop bracket, which is probably excessive, but I want to make sure that I've got enough latitude. I want to make sure I've got enough latitude in these files to actually be able to merge a couple into a file that'll be workable. The dynamic range right now, because the sun's now up and really lighting stuff up, is just too great to make it out of one picture. So 9 stops, that's what we're doing. We'll probably only use 5, but when in Rome. So here's the scene. We are we're at f9. My base exposure is at a 200th of a second. I am shooting at ISO 64, and we're gonna shoot 9 shots here. Almost. And there it is. All right, let's see if we have a picture. I'm shooting this vertically because I want to get the trees above in the scene, and I want to also get as much of the reflection. And there are a few little leaves and things in the water here, so I'm trying to include just a few of those in the foreground. I may step back and try this again and just get a little bit more of that, just, you know, to have a second shot. But I think this first one's probably going to be the winner. Well, 1 out of 4 isn't bad. I think we've tried to get 4 different shots on camera, and I'm glad we finally got one this morning. It was a bit of a mad rush, and I think we might have missed really the best early morning light, like maybe if we'd have been here an hour before, but we were running up and down the river, and I just realized as I was trying to set this up vertically that somewhere along the line, the little screw adjustment that adjusts my ball head's ability to rotate this way fell out. And it's funny because I remember seeing one of those in the sand on the riverbank on the mad rush here, and thought, oh man, some poor sucker lost a piece of his tripod. He's gonna be missing that. That poor sucker is me. So now we have to backtrack the ridiculous route that we took to get here and try and find that piece of my tripod. But I do think we got a good picture, and I do have a second tripod at home, so it's not the end of the world if we don't find it. But we'll go find it. We're gonna find it. It's in the sand. I know where it is. Sorry, Katya. We have to go back that way. Anyway, let's throw this over to, I don't know, either the computer or I'm gonna show you the picture. But we're done here, man. It's a wrap. It's 2 nights in the car. It was like 19 degrees, 18 degrees overnight. Last night I slept really well, though. I think maybe I was just at peace with, I don't think bears are gonna get into the car, and I don't think rangers are gonna come knocking on the window. I was a little freaked out about that the night before, just because it's a big parking lot and there are a lot of people wandering around. Anyway, fun morning in the field. There it is. Oh, yep, I'd be missing that. Told you I knew where it was. Oh man. All right, well, off we go. You know, this was one of those mornings, laying in the car. It's cold, I'm warm in my sleeping bag, and it's still kind of dark outside. It's just that twilight, sort of early, whatever you call that in the morning. It's not twilight, well, whatever it is. That pre-dawn light. It's just barely kind of turning blue in the sky, and I can see it out the windows. They're all have condensation all over them. You know, that we slept in our car thing. Anyway, I'm laying there thinking, oh, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to get up? It's so nice and warm here. I could just go get some hot chocolate and a muffin at the lodge and sit by the fire and just not mess with it. But, you know, I think it's on those mornings when you're kind of doubting yourself, or when you know you should, but you're just feeling weak and, you know, sleepy and cold, that you have to kind of pull yourself out of it and go, you know, it's always better if I get up and go do it. Now we're trying to find the car. Anyway, I'm glad we got up. I'm glad we got out of the car. It wasn't easy, but I think we earned some hot chocolate and muffins, and so that's where we're headed.